seen something like this?
Kinda. This is one
Okay.
of the toughest calculators ever.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go click on that and then edit. So stat edit. And it takes you to this list here. All right. And I'm going to write some of these instructions down on the other screen here. So the thing is that like this is not a very modern tool. I actually use the same calculator that you've got here in when I was going to school. Like it just hasn't changed much for whatever reason. So, it's not like a smartphone. It's not like why won't that go? Okay. It's not like a smartphone. It's not like, where we expect it to work nicely. It actually doesn't work very nice at all. But you can see I'm entering the data here into list one and list two.
Okay.
And do you see where that data is coming from in the table there? All right, there we go. So I'm going to just grab a snip of this and put it in the other screen that, the notes you get here at the end. And so the way this works now is you actually have to quit out, which is a little weird. You have to second quit. Then you click on calc, that calc, and then you go down to linreg like that. Do you remember seeing this in class?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, either you did or you didn't. Like if you didn't see it, that's
I
okay too.
did.
Okay. And this is where it gets a little bit different. Like in your class with your calculator, you're gonna have a different screen here. That's one of the things I don't like about this. But if I hit enter, we have the regression. Okay. But this is not what you want because you don't want linear regression. Normally you do want linear regression, but not in this case. We're gonna go back to stat, calc, and then see where it says cubic regression, number 6, cubic regression.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Right. And we're gonna hit enter here. And there it is. Okay. So the equation is, and I'm going to grab this. We're going to go to the other screen now. Go back to the other screen. Okay. So the equation here, and this is what you're going to want to start writing down. Do you have your something out to write with today?
Yeah.
If you need to go get it, I mean, that's fine. Just let me know.
Okay.
Do you have something to write with?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So the way to write this is we're going to round A, B, and C to, let's go to let's go. So A will be 0.017, B will be minus 0.508, C will be 5.604, and the D here will be minus 13.364. Okay. So we're going to put those numbers into the cubic regression. So it's AX cubed, that's 0.017 X cubed plus, actually minus 0.508 x squared plus 5.604x minus 13.364.
Okay.
So you'll definitely want to get this down. This is your answer to part A, first question there.
Okay.
You got that down?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you read what part B is asking us to do here? I'm going to snip that in for just a
Okay.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you read this stuff for us? Or if it's not clear, maybe go to your picture.
Yeah. Use a graphing. Uh, what does that
Utility.
say?
Utility.
Utility. Use the graphing utility to create a scatter plot of the data. Then graph the model and the scatter plot in the same viewing window. How do they compare?
Okay. And did you guys talk about this at all in class today?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go back to the calculator.
Okay.
And let's see here. So to do this, we're going to go to second stat plot, which is different. That's why it's really kind of good. Uh, it's really good here to actually have this in front of you. So when you have your calculator, you definitely want to redo this. You have to go over and turn the plot. You have to hit enter, turn it on, and then right here you can see that this one is like the what we're plotting here is the data. And so you just hit graph and you'll start to see some of the data points there. Now, we really can't see the data. So you go to zoom stat, which is number 9 here, and it'll kind of do a better job of
Oh,
putting
I've
that.
seen that before.
Yeah. And so the next thing is we have to figure out the window. So what I'm doing right now is I'm snipping this into the other screen. We're going to go back to the window, and this will tell us the limits here. This is 6.4, 13.6, and then 6.105 to 10.795. So I'm going to go back to the other screen. All right. And so what you want to do is get something down on your paper like this with the with this.
Okay. Okay. So this right here is like a graphing. It's like some kind of, this is a scatter plot.
Scatter plot, yes.
It's called a scatter plot.
It's called a scatter plot, yeah. And then the next thing we're going to do is graph the function that we have up here. We're going to put this function in, and so that we'll see a line that maybe goes through there. All right, so I'm going to go back to the, do you have this down, the graph?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the calculator. I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to type in the equation 0.017 x cubed minus 0.508 x squared plus 5.604x minus 13.364. I'm going to graph this, and what you want to do is add this picture, this curve here to your graph. rough sketch if you can.
Aha.
And that's the final answer to part B.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you got that down?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the other screen here. Let's see what other questions we can answer. All right, now it says according to the model found in part A, in what year did attendance reach 8.5 million? So this is where the it would be really helpful to have kind of these like increments here. Um, or even here, which we don't know. What I can do though is I can go back to the graphing calculator and we can graph the horizontal line y equals 8.5. All right, so I'm going to do that next. I'm going to go back to the graphing calculator and I'm going to do in y2 8.5. And we're going to graph this and we should see a horizontal line. Boom, there it is. Okay. Now the next thing I can do is do what's called a second calc intersect, which is number 5 down there. Did you do intersections today in class?
Intersections.
Yeah.
We haven't did that. We were just doing lots of things like putting them in the list and also like that.
All right, so do you see how it intersects there at 9.3?
Huh.
Right there, you kind of read it 9.3.
9.3, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm going to snip this back in and go back to the original problem here. It says that P equals 7 corresponds to 1997. Let me see if I can snip that one more time here. It's at the top of the problem here. So um, there's a lot of like snipping and moving around. That's where it's really nice when you've got the calculator in front of you to be able to do this. So we found that it's t equals 9.3. It says t equals 7 is 1997. What that means is t equals 0 is 1990, 90, not 1900. So t equals 9.3 is 1990 plus 9.3 or 1999. You're 1999.
1999. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into this. Like it's easy just to write the answer and you know, just be like, okay, I got it, but there's quite a bit that goes into it. Any questions on that before we go on to the next part here?
Yep, okay.
All right, so we're actually use the same. Well, actually, that won't be all that helpful. We're gonna go to part D. Uh, Part D asks when attendance will reach 9 million. So we're gonna go back to the graph. And instead of graphing y equals 8.5, we're gonna graph y equals 9. So we're gonna see another horizontal line there in the graph. Let me go back to that. So when I graph this, you'll see it's well, it's redrawing the cubic, and then we should see a horizontal line like that. And at the time we're trying to find the intersection there between the two. All right, so again, I'm going to do a second calc intersect, which is 5. And you can, there's a little bit more to this, but I'm going to just do it real quick since you don't have it in front of you. I'll have to redo it anyway. You can see the intersection there is 10.227.
Hold on, 2.27?
10.227. All
Yeah.
right, I'm going to snip that into the other screen. All right, so we know that the base year t equals 0 is 1990. T equals 10.23 is 1990 plus 10.23, which is 2000, if year 2000, somewhere in the year 2000. Make sure you get that down for part D.
Okay, there we go. Okay, now do you.
Got that down?
Yeah.
Okay. Now part E here is according to the right-hand behavior of the model, will the attendance continue to increase? Basically, they're asking, I'm going to go back to the graph here. What they're asking is like, they're like, what happens to this curve? Does it go up forever? And it does. So you want to answer it somehow and say that attendance will increase forever.
Yep.
All right. So is that everything you wanted to work on today?
Wait, that's it?
Well, did you answer part E?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else, Sarah, you want us to work on tonight?
I don't think there's anything else. It's just that I just
Okay.
have to show it to you.
All right. Well, we're gonna actually end the lesson here then, and we'll just start fresh next week. Okay. And
Okay.
have a better week. So I'm gonna jump off here, and we'll see
And so
you.
yeah, this is going to be going to Yahoo. I can be able to see this again.
Yeah. Uh, yes, I'll send you notes like I always do, and
You
screen
always
recording as
forget
always.
it, and I really like it.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Sarah. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and weekend. I'll
Okay,
see you.
Dad.
No, sorry, I